freelancing is one of the best ways to get started working anywhere. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to get started with freelancing from scratch and 3 tips that will make you a successful freelancer. Hey there bosses, you're welcome to my channel once again. On this channel, I give you tips, resources, and strategies on how to make a living online. If that sounds like your cup of tea, then go ahead and smash the subscribe button to join our community. Right, so the very first thing you're going to need as a freelancer, of course, is the skill that you're selling. And if you're like, I don't know which skill to choose, I don't even know what a skill is, I have this video up here where I share with you 10 skills that you can turn into a freelancing business. What you can do is that you can open that browser over there, all right, open it up and then watch that video after this video. All right, very first thing you're going to want to do is create samples. Now that you have your skill, create samples. Now for me as a freelance writer, when I wanted to become a freelance writer, I had already had a blog for about 2 or 3 years, and so I was able to present that as my samples because I'd had a blog and it had been good, it had been successful. I was able to grow it from 0 to about 10,000 monthly visits, so I was really proud of that, and I was able to share that with my clients and bag a lot of clients that way. But perhaps you're watching this and you don't even have a blog. What I'll suggest to you is for you to visit or read content that you already enjoy. Let's say that you enjoy content in the healthcare niche, or you enjoy content in the technology niche. I want you to start browsing those blogs and those websites where you enjoy those pieces of content and create similar content. Do not plagiarize, but create similar content with your own ideas, with your own experiences, right? Put your own personal spin on it and then put them somewhere that you can share publicly. And so that could be like a website that you create for yourself, and you create links. And so what I do is you create those samples, let's say in something like Google Docs, and then you take a link, a shared link from Google Docs, and put that on your website, for instance. Or you could leverage free websites like LinkedIn or Facebook and use their blogging features to create that content and then share that with your potential client. And the reason why you always want to make sure that you are creating samples, or you create samples before you start even pitching anybody, is because when you go to that potential client to say, hey, are you going to hire me for ABCD, you want to make sure that you show them something that proves that you can do what you say you can do. If you come to me telling me that you want to create a website for me, I want to see some websites, right? If you say you want to be my freelance writer, I want to see some writing samples. And so that's always important for you to do. So create samples. And this doesn't just apply to writing. I use writing as an example because that's my personal experience, but this goes for websites, this goes for social media management, this goes for basic photography, any skill that you pick and turn into a freelance business. This is something that you want to make sure you create samples for, so you can show them to your potential clients. Now that you have your samples, you're going to start getting some clients. One of the places that has really worked well for me when it comes to getting clients is Craigslist. I just go to the gigs section. Sometimes under there are people that are already advertising, the people that are saying, I need a writer, I need a website designer, I need a photographer, and you can reach out to these people. Actually, the very first clients I got, this was back when I was doing social media, the very first client I got was through a Craigslist ad, and she hired me and then brought me other clients, and that was basically how I made my first 10K freelancing, is just through a Craigslist ad. And the thing that I'll add to this is that once you get that client, you absolutely want to make sure that you do the best work. Okay, you want to make sure you do the best work, because when you do the best work, it's more likely that they will send more business your way. It's more likely that any new project that they have, they will give it to you. I work with people that are like the vice presidents of marketing at companies, and what happens is that if that person leaves one company and goes to the next company, they're going to take you with them because they already love your work and they're not out here trying to look for new freelancers. So you want to make sure that you wow your clients with your work. All right, so Craigslist was one of the first places I got work. Another place where I've gotten work is through a place like Upwork, freelancing websites. Now the warning I will give about freelancing websites is that a lot of the time people are looking looking for the cheapest freelancer they can find on Upwork or Fiverr, somebody that will not charge them a whole lot, but they still want quality work. And so because of that, it can be like a race to the bottom to get gigs through freelancing websites. All right, and you can check this video right here where I talk about freelancing websites and why I don't necessarily like them. So it's a good place to get started, but I don't see it as a very sustainable place for your freelancing career, but you can get started there as well. Now, this tip for getting clients is one I really enjoy, is where you actually Google businesses in your local area and then start pitching them. And one of the reasons I love local business is because when you're local, people are more likely to say, okay, yes. People are more likely to say, okay, why don't we meet for coffee and then talk about this? And because there is that camaraderie of living in the same local area, people are more likely to say yes. So you may want to Google like doctor's offices, dentist offices, whichever kind of business that you would want to work with. You want to go into Google, search for that business, and then search for a contact, and then introduce yourself via email and say, I'm so and so, I'm a local freelancer, I'm a local web designer, and I would love to talk to somebody at your business about doing ABC for you guys. If this sounds great, here's my phone number, here is my email, please respond. And I've gotten clients that way, for real. Have gotten clients that way. Another thing you may want to do is make sure that you're attending local entrepreneur events. I find these to also be helpful because when people know your face, they're more likely to say, hey, yeah, I know her, I've interacted with her, why not? You know, so local entrepreneur events, those are also great for finding freelancing clients. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to watch more videos on how to start a freelance career, I highly recommend watching these videos.